The next morning found the river valley draped in sunlight. It looked like a fairy tale. And the call of the river was stronger than usual. There was something inside that just wanted to slide off that bank and follow that sunlight, follow the water. Sleep had eluded Adam. Too much on his mind, I guess. A hard day of paddling today, and surely he'd sleep tonight. The next stretch of river was known to the Cherokee as Zillicoa. It means place of shadows. Sometimes you know why a name was given to a river, and sometimes you wonder. And in the morning sunlight, it was hard to imagine that this would be a place of shadows. So we're all packed up. You see our camp as if we were never here. Boys are finally tweaking their boats here for the day. And we are just moments away from shoving off for the day. Got a beautiful morning. The sun's coming out. Get a little solar charge going today. Keep the batteries up, but it's just nice out. It's like the perfect temperature, isn't it? Last night was perfect temperature for sleeping. And we've named this beach, I think we settled on Beaver Bluff. Pretty funny story. Adam had never experienced a beaver slapping its tail in the water, and that happened about 2 in the morning. And I think he thought it was Yeti throwing rocks in the water, trying to warn us off. But what do you think, Adam? What do you think about the beaver? And so we shoved off from our beach at Beaver Bluff and drifted along with the sunlight dancing on the water. Spirits were high and the scenery was spectacular. Some mornings on the water are just magical. This was one of them. I remember telling Brian the feel was the same as Algonquin Park, Canada. And then we came around the corner, and I remember being here with my dad as a young teenager. He took me on a quick canoe trip, overnight campout. I still remember. The river was simply mesmerizing. Each corner just led to another, and then another. You could feel the pull to keep exploring, to keep searching. Brian called this section the Farmland Flats. We knew we had to get through it to get to the more challenging, more scenic, more majestic stretches of the river below. But we were taking in the beauty as we went. As beautiful as it was, there was no place to stop. No beaches, no gravel bars. The banks were vertical and covered in vines and thorns. And the river just kept calling and pulling us along. The current swift and featureless. The racing waters below seemed so far away, but there was only one way to get there. And mile after mile, and hour after hour, it felt as if we were no closer than this morning. But we kept paddling. Adam was not his normal cheery self, no doubt tired from lack of sleep the night before. Brian had also grown quiet under the midday sun.
There was no doubt. Zillicoa had begun to cast a shadow on our trip. First Brian, and then Adam. They both got hung up on logs and almost flipped. Brian self-rescued, but Adam landed in a 2-point pin and needed assistance. The lack of sleep had taken its toll, and the beast tried to make him pay. He got lucky this time. We needed to eat something, take a break. The small town of Etowah was coming up. I had resigned myself to walk to the nearest restaurant and get some real food and a pick-me-up for the guys.
So we're here with Randall Hill. He picked us up, a couple hobos walking down the road here for the pizza joint. But thanks, Randall. Saved us a walking and in for some pizza, and he's on his way.
You guys enjoy Western North Carolina.
Thanks, we'll do it, man. Good folks. That's a brick house right there, Jack. Okay guys, so we're here at the Etowah boat ramp here, and Steve and Andy saved our life. Unfortunately, their motor went out after they committed to helping us out, and they fear they may be in trouble with the ladies now, but yes. I just want to say for the YouTube world to see, if these guys hadn't helped us out, we'd be in trouble. And we're just kayak born, but they were trying to help us out, and we got them in trouble. So sorry ladies, it's our fault, not Steve and Andy. So there you go. Anything you want to say to the ladies?
We're sorry. We love you. Yeah. You're the best mothers and wives we could ever ask for.
Boom, there you go.
After a well-earned break and a hearty dinner, we got back on the river and pushed on. The siren of the French Broad started calling again. With a mesmerizing sunset and beautiful views, there we were, still paddling, still searching. Those racing waters were still somewhere up ahead. We could almost see them in our mind's eye. We needed to get off this place of shadows. And finally, in a last-ditch effort, we started chasing every little side creek and canal in a hope to find something for camping. We knew we were in trouble. We hadn't seen one campsite all day. And then we passed this spot, a little grass flat on the riverbank. I looked at Brian and said, "Let's take it." We got out and hauled our boats up the bank and found the only camp spot I'd seen since we shoved off of Beaver Bluff. Inexplicably and unintentionally, we had just paddled 38 miles in one day. We had only intended 25 or so. We were all exhausted and needed rest, especially Adam. This stretch was proving to be as difficult as it was beautiful. I guess it's all in the name. Zillicoa, a place of shadows.